Hey guys, welcome back to CGR yugioh. You already know what time it is for another deck profile. Today we have LUNALIGHT. Played this deck a little bit, a lot online. I haven't brought it to a locals tournament yet, just because there's still a card or two that I'm missing, which kind of sucks. It's gonna come in today though, so hopefully for either the next this upcoming or the next locals after that, I'm gonna bring this deck. Probably not for the next one, because it's going to be a Rarity 5 collection celebration event for a mat. So I'm probably going to take a deck that I'm more comfortable with. Still kind of trying to figure out the kinks within this deck and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys like this kind of content, obviously, please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you guys want to see anything else content-wise. Also, for the locals videos, I don't know if you guys want to see longer videos, kind of have one just big, huge video that's locals, generated. I don't really know the word to put it, but you know what I mean, where it's all just kind of combined in one video. Or if you guys want me to just continue the way it's going with individual videos. But yeah, just let you know. Comment down below, let me know what you want to see, and let me know if you guys want to see a combo and test hands variant of this. And of course, let's just get right into the deck profile. So, obviously for the main deck, we have 3 Goleo. This card is probably the best starter, if not the only starter this deck kind of has. All of your plays almost kind of come right off of Goleo, or involve Goleo at some point. But yeah, this is just an incredible card, being able to on normal or special add a LUNALIGHT monster and then discard a card. So then obviously it activates all the other LUNALIGHT's effects, since they activate when they're discarded by card effect. It also has a neat one where if a LUNALIGHT is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of them and just add it back to your hand, so it gives you free follow-up or even just extension if you need it. Next, I play 3 Kaleido. This is an incredible card. I've seen people play this at 2, and honestly, I've been thinking about cutting it to 2. But to be honest with you, I think it's just too crazy of a card to not keep it at 3. And for those who don't know what it does, it's an ignition effect that it sends 4 cost 1 LUNALIGHT monster from deck or extra deck to the graveyard. The only unfortunate part is that sense it for cost. Kind of. A lot of scenarios, the cost actually is beneficial for you as, as things go on. You'll be able to put more materials in the grave. Obviously, you won't be able to activate the effects, but you still have more materials to make Liger or stuff like that while using it. And then I play 3 Black Sheep. I've also seen people put this to 2 as well, which is understandable. It doesn't do a whole lot by itself. But I just think that grind game wise, and just in general, this card is pretty crazy, especially when you have a card that can discard or send it to the graveyard. The special one. I guess it's kind of weak to Ash if this is your only play, but technically, your entire deck is kind of weak to Ash if it's your only play. So I keep this at 3. I just think it's too crazy, especially with 2 card combos, being able to Goleo, grab, I don't know, Black Sheep, discard this, go this effect, or yeah, Wolf summon Kaleido or something, or Yellow Martin or anything of the sorts, and just be able to go through it like that. I think it's just crazy. Speaking of which, I play 2 Black Sheep. I was actually playing 3 of this at one point, but then I decided to cut it down to 2. It doesn't really do a whole lot by itself. Also, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention. A neat effect of Kaleido that I actually learned through playtesting online is that when it's banished, I believe it says, yeah, when this card is banished, you can activate this effect this turn. Your opponent cards and effects cannot be activated during the battle phase, which is kind of neat, especially if you're playing against Tenpai or something, or even you're just playing against a deck that's gonna like modulate attack or defense, or try and do anything in that kind of phase. That's really nice. And also when it's sent to the graveyard by card effect as well, it adds a polymerization from the graveyard to the hand, which is just a really neat effect. Of course, Silver Wolf also, if they activate I believe it's a spell trap. Yeah, spell trap card or effects activated on the field. You can quick effect banish this and a Lunalight Fusion from your grave, and then negate the activation. I think it just destroys it or something. It just negates the activation. Banishes the 2 for cost, but like that's also kind of crazy as well, because as soon as you get that in graveyard and get Kaleido to send like Leo, like you have protection there as well, so it makes your plays kind of more protected as well. I play 1 Martin. I played this at 2, but then I kind of realized that there's not really a point of playing it at 2. The card's good, but it's not like that great to play it at that kind of level. It basically is, if it's in the field or grave, you can target a Lunalight card you control, accept itself, obviously return to the hand, and then special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. And if this card is sent to graveyard by card effect, you can add a Lunalight spell trap. So this is like the card that you're going to use a lot of the time to go get like Masquerade or like Lunalight Fusion, stuff like that, or Perfume, anything of the sort of what you need. Next I play Emerald Bird. Just really good for recursion, also being able to get you a draw as well. It's just good to be able to like kind of, you know, draw into better things, or draw into hand traps for better disruption. And obviously, like I said, just good for recursion, being able to, you know, kind of get the grind game started. And then one controversial thing I think is to Tiger. I'm just gonna move this to the side a little bit, make sure you guys can see all that. I play 2 Tiger just because I think this card is like phenomenal. I wouldn't play it at 3. I think 2 is just enough. I think 1 is too little. Because as soon as this card gets out of rotation, I kind of just feel like, you know, it's really hard to get it back in. But this card's crazy, and that's kind of why I played at 2, being able to special summon Lunalights from the grave, kind of like a built-in Perfume. So I just think that's kind of insane. Then I play 1 Wolf. 1 Wolf is pretty much like necessary for the deck now. Being able to fusion summon by banishing cards from your graveyard is crazy, especially being able to go just activate this and then being able to banish and go right into a Liger Dancer. Like, it's just kind of insane. But that's it for like the monsters of that. For spell traps, I have 2 Perfume. 3's way too much. 2 is the perfect kind of amount. This card can be used for a bunch of different things. Obviously, it's bring back effect from the graveyard. I believe it does negate its effects. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, cool. I was thinking about Tiger. But yeah, so then also it has another effect where you can banish from the graveyard and then discard a card, and then you add a Lunalight monster from deck to hand, so that's obviously really good, being able to kind of get you pieces that you're missing, bring back pieces from the graveyard that you might need for extension, and, you know, this is also like a foolish burial goods target as well, if, like, say you just can't use its first effect for some weird reason. Next we have Masquerade, another crazy card that came out as of the recent. So the thing with Masquerade is that on activation during the main phase, you can just send a Lunalight card from your deck to the graveyard. And then if you fusion summon a Lunalight monster, you can add a polymerization from your graveyard or banishment to your hand and then discard a card, and then you can banish materials instead of using them from hand or field. Again, makes plays crazy because then you have Wolf and Masquerade to go into Liger Dancer, and it makes like your polymerization, your Lunalight fusion, like all your fusion spells, it makes them be able to just, you know, banish the materials instead. And that, I think that's an incredible way to perceive it, and an incredible way to make this deck just so much stronger. Then 1 fusion one Serenade Dance. I feel like the Fusion's pretty mandatory in the deck, to be honest with you. It's just another spell trap you can add in scenarios. Obviously, it's another Fusion spell, so you can get into Liger Dancer or Perfume, like the Perfume Dancer. Serenade is a card that I've seen people actually cut, like the Serenade and 2 Foolish Burial Goods. I've seen people play 3. I've seen people play like 2. I've seen people just cut the engine entirely. This plays harder into Droll, but I also feel like this right here helps so much more with the deck being able to extend past things like Nibiru, or if they hand trap you like twice or 3 times. Like, I just think this helps push past it so much that I think it's just like necessary to have. Like, you can't just cut this and kind of leave it. Like, some versions obviously are probably a little bit stronger. I am playing a 45 card version, so probably versions that are closer to like 40 might be a little stronger, might not need it, but I still think this is like a mandatory kind of engine. Obviously, then the polymerization, pretty, self-explanatory. Really good card to add. Masquerade allows it to banish materials from the graveyard. Also, it's a nice little shiny QCR kind of looking one, so had to play it. Then I play 1 Fractal and 2 Fire Formation Tenkies. So I've actually seen a couple of versions that play 3 Fractal, 3 Tenki, 3 Masquerade. To be honest with you, I think 1's fine. A lot of people that I've seen play the deck play 1, and I think 3 is almost quite literally unnecessary. Even when this card's in my hand, I actually don't find that I use it a lot. Or like the Tenki. The Tenki's really good, and I would bump this up to 3, but honestly, with all of like the cards that kind of lead into others, I genuinely don't think you need more Tenki. I think these are the perfect ratios, and like this deck is hyper consistent already. Like, I don't think you need more. But yeah, and then Fractal obviously is basically just another Tenki, being able to send things like the Wolf to special summon Gold Leo, or send Yellow Martin to get Masquerade or Perfume or something like that. Like, it's such a good engine, and it's just really needed to push through certain game states. 1 Foolish Burial Goods, obviously, to send cards again by card effect. Yellow Martin, sorry, I'm blanking. Wolf. Emerald Bird, if you need it. Kaleido Chick to grab back polymerization if, they belled one of your things and can't add back polymerization. So that's always there. And then I play 1 Crossout, 1 Call By. This deck's really susceptible to hand traps, and I think that's probably the worst part about it. There are a lot of lines that actually play through things, though. Like, you have like Droll lines, you have certain things can play around Nib, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure there are anti-Nib lines. There are just so many ways to play around different cards, but just having this is like extra protection, I think, and I deem this is really, really necessary, especially just the format we're in, really. But yeah, and then I play 2 Pulse, starting out for hand traps. I know this kind of cuts off your LUNALIGHT Tiger, but if I'm honest with you, like, this deck is so strong. I find for most of my combos, if I'm activating Pulse going second, I almost never need the Tiger. And I can push through for game really easily without it. So I feel like the payoff is kind of better in the sense. Because when I use this card, I don't really use Tiger. And plus, like, if you use Tiger, you can still Impulse, like, afterwards. Like, I think it's just for the rest of the duel. So you can still, like, use Tiger going first or going second or something like that. Say you draw Impulse when you're going second, like, you draw for turn. Like, you can still go through and Tiger, and if they're like, oh, well, like, what's an example? oh, I'm gonna like use clip, I believe it is, like Cool Tune clip. You just impulse, and then you can't use Tiger, but by that point you're probably already killing them. So like the payoff is just kind of insane. Like I find there's almost no reason to play this card. The reason I don't play it at 3 is, if I'm honest, I just don't own a 3rd copy yet. So 2's all I got, so 2's all I'm gonna play. Then for hand traps, I play 3 Ash, 3 Charmy, and I play 3 Mourner. This was supposed to be 3 Perulia, like these 3 here, but my Perulias are in my other deck that I'm currently playtesting and going to bring to the Rarity 5 collection one. So I'll just like put a little PNG of Perulia on top of these. But I think these are self-explanatory. They're really good into the meta. Fualos you could probably change for like something else, like Inperms, Bells, something of like that kind of sort. But I think it's pretty good, at least for my locals. I find a lot of people go into the extra deck, so I think main decking the Fua is pretty it's pretty valid, at least in my case. But yeah, that's the main deck. 45 cards again, just so you guys know. Let's move on to the extra. So for the extra, I play 1 Almirage, 1 SP, and then 1 Gravity Controller. Almirage, obviously, if your plays get stopped, you can just link into Almirage, gets more materials into the graveyard. SP, just a really, really good card. Like, you just kind of play that. Gravity Controller, I seen deck profile. I'm going to try and find it again and link it in the description. But this guy made a really good point where if you get stopped on certain LUNALIGHT, like extra deck monsters or stuff like that, or like say one of your many XYZs gets stopped, as long as you have it in the EMZ, you just link in a Gravity Controller, and now the materials are in the graveyard, which sets you up for, again, so many plays that like it's just so beneficial to play this card. I've seen people play, there was another one that I was thinking of, Cross Sheep. I would also consider playing that as a 4th link. I don't play it because I actually have a lot of, I have another card that I took it out for that I'm going to play test with a little more to see how good it is. But Cross Sheep is another really good alternative if you don't want to play the controller. I just think the controller is better for putting the materials in the graveyard if you need it than Cross Sheep that like extends your plays. But like, to be honest with you, I've played a bunch of games where I haven't needed Cross Sheep and still gone full combo, like made SP Baguska Liger or made SP double Liger, and stuff like that. Like I don't think Cross Sheep is necessary at all. But yeah. And then I play 1 Brotherhood of the Tenki, obviously to search, Fire Formation Tenki. Dugaris obviously gets your materials in the graveyard. Allows you to bring 1 back from the graveyard, allows you to draw 2, discard 1, and then I believe it also gains 1500 or something like that for the last effect. But most of the times you're going to be using one of the first 2. Another one is Outer Entity Nyarla. I'm going to turn on my light for this. Ooh, that's pretty bright. Sorry also for being in the dark. I really hope you guys can see that. I kind of forgot to turn on my light. So for Nyarla, I've seen another, I think it was the same profile actually. You could play Nyarla or you could play Dempsey. It doesn't really matter. But the thing is with these 2 cards, the detaching for effect is probably the most important thing here, especially when you can just put 2 materials into Nyarla and then you can Nyarla detach the 2 for effect. I'm just going to double check. Yeah. So you target a monster in the graveyard. That's for cost. You detach the other 2, which is sending them to the grave via card effect. And then you attach the monster you targeted to this card. And then you get to trigger all of your Lunalights that trigger when they're sent to graveyard by card effect, which makes Nyarla kind of crazy, being able to do stuff like that. And also, again, like I said, main point of pretty much the extra deck stuff is putting names in the graveyard, being able to extend and put names in there for like Liger. But yeah, and then Baguska, this is a big part of your end board. You just slap a defense position Baguska, and then your opponent pretty much can't do anything unless they have Imperm. So, you know, crazy card, part of your end board, kind of need it, pretty self-explanatory. Another thing is Flame Banshee, which is actually why I'm going to be showing off the side deck in this deck profile, is because the Infernal Flame Banshee. This actually kind of leads into a line that I was pretty excited to learn and use, especially with, you know, the new Protos ban. You know, little hint to what we're doing here. I was pretty sad that I wasn't able to use Protos, but I was able to use the other one. So I was pretty happy to see that, and that the lines actually work incredibly well, especially in this deck. Yeah, so that's the Banshee. We have 2 Perfume Dancer. You play 2, you know, Lunalight Perfumes. You don't need more than the 2 Perfume Dancers. I play the 1 Saber. This honestly could be cut for the what do you call it, the Cross Sheep. But I think this card's just crazy. If it's sent to the graveyard, not the turn it's sent, you can banish it, and then the target Lunalight monster, I believe, of your choice, yeah, gains 3,000 attack. So, you know, your Liger becomes 6,800, and I believe it gets 2 battle phases. Yeah, it gets 2 attacks during each battle phase, which, with a board wipe, you know, pretty much game over. So, yeah. And then 2, Leo Dancer, obviously. You send this off Kaleido. You're never making this. You're literally just sending it off Kaleido. To then banish them to make the 2 Liger, the incredible card herself. And yeah, this is the extra deck. Obviously, you know, Liger being your towers, and the send for cost 1 Lunalight extra deck monster to the graveyard, and blowing up the opponent's board. Makes this a pretty crazy kind of extra deck. But yeah. And then for the extra, or the side deck, I play 2 Droll. It's still really prominent at my locals. So kind of play that. This is 3 Nib. If I'm honest, I'm not really into playing Nib. My locals kind of plays a little bit of Mitsurugi, so this kind of sucks. Usually I play like Retaliating Sea, but again, my other Retaliating Seas are put up in another deck, so I'll just slap another PNG. That's something else you could play. I found Nib just be a suitable kind of fix, especially again with my locals. Like people do play Mitsurugi, but it's also really combo heavy. So Nib's just kind of another good variant of a card that, you know, can be put in to stop that. And then this is the engine that I was talking about. So the flag, and then I don't have it. It literally got delivered today, so I will have it later today. But this is the arch nemesis Escados. That's what the Infernal Flame Banshee kind of leads up to. And I kind of love this engine. It's kind of, you know, fun and interesting, and extremely, I think, interesting to kind of be able to play. But yeah. And then heavy polymerization. Sorry I don't go too deep into that. I kind of forget Escados' effect. All I know is that pretty much is that it calls, I believe it's a type, and then your opponent destroys all of that called type on the field, and then they can't summon any of that type, which makes it just kind of like, you know, crazy going into, like, again, Mitsurugi, where you just call Reptile, cooked. Sky Striker, you call, like, Warrior, cooked. Like White Forest, you call Illusion, pretty much cooked. I have a person that plays zombies, just call Zombie, cooked. Like, it's just an incredible card, and I really enjoy playing it. 3 Droplet, this card is crazy. Like incredible card, breaking boards, being able to also like half the monster's attack, which then obviously makes it a lot easier to just kind of, you know, hit over with Liger Dancer or any kind of other card that has, you know, a decent attack. But yeah, the reason I don't main this is because honestly, like, going first, honestly, this card's not incredible to draw. Especially for the fact I believe it sends for cost. So, like, you don't get any kind of benefits from using Droplet, which sucks, which is kind of why I sided going second. Because, you know, going second, if you're going to break a board, you're probably more susceptible to using LUNALIGHTs in hand or any kind of card in hand or on field. Also, you know, this card can dodge stuff like Imperm or any targeted negation, which just kind of makes it crazy and I think mandatory to play. And I play 3 evenly. I think I haven't seen a lot of people say that they play evenly or even like play evenly like at all on the side. I just think this is a really good generic card. This card has won me a bunch of games, especially when I'm going second against a crazy board that have no Spell or Trap or Omnis, or even if they do, I just bait them out, go battle, end a battle evenly. Like, this card's just crazy, and I think that there's no world that I'll be leaving it out of any side deck for the foreseeable future. But yeah, that is the LUNALIGHT deck profile, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, leave a like, comment down below if you guys would like to see more deck profiles, test hands, and combo videos, or like even comment down below what you kind of want me to do with like the locals and stuff. But you already know what time it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video. And remember, y'all are beautiful people. Don't let it happen at the beginning of your day. Ruin the rest of y'all day, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.